Hey everyone, welcome back to Shade Review. In today's video, we are reviewing the brand new Ray-Ban RB2210 sunglasses. But first off, like today's video sponsor, our own website, shadereviewstore.com, the absolute best place to buy designer sunglasses, up to 80% off the original MSRP. Again, the website there is shadereviewstore.com. Check it out. So let's go ahead and pop these sunglasses on face and talk about the dimensions. These have 53mm lenses and a 22mm bridge, and this is the standard and only size of these sunglasses that Ray-Ban currently produces these frames in, and then the hinge to hinge distance here is 133mm. So this is going to be a good average fitting pair of sunglasses that are going to trend slightly to the large end, but for my face, they fit me absolutely perfectly. Now also keep in mind these frames do have a metal rod that runs down the middle of them, and they're made out of propionate frames, so you can actually heat these frames up and custom adjust them to your face, and then they're going to hold the fit with the metal rod here. So if they're a little bit too small, you can have these professionally adjusted. Now, as far as the exact colorway that I have in today's video, these have Ray-Ban's polished Havana frames, and these look really nice. Again, these are a propionate frame, so they're not going to be quite as high quality as an acetate, and because of that, the colors aren't going to be quite as spectacular as an acetate. They still look good, look a little bit more smudgy, if that makes sense. Like the actual colors and the contrast look a little bit more kind of smudgy, where acetate is usually a little bit more defined and clear and kind of crisp. So not a huge deal here, but definitely something interesting to note with propionate versus acetate. Also, they're just completely different material as well. Now, as far as weight goes, these frames come in at 39 grams, so they actually are not extremely lightweight, but I can still wear these frames for hours at a time without any discomfort. But if I wear these frames for more than 7 hours probably, or somewhere around there, they're definitely going to be a little uncomfortable here around the nose. Now, these frames do have polymer lenses or plastic lenses, and the optical clarity of these is really good, not quite as good as glass, and they're also not going to have quite as good scratch resistance as a glass lens would have either, but everything looking through these looks really crisp and clear, so I can't complain about that. Now, if we take a closer look at the top right corner of the lens, we can see a painted on Ray-Ban logo that's there for authentication purposes and styling purposes, and then here in the middle left lens, we can see a little etched RB logo, which is also there for authentication purposes. Now, if we move down to the outside temples of the frame, we can see a little embedded Ray-Ban logo made out of this silver metallic color, and that looks really nice, very discreet, not too loud, so I really do appreciate that. Now, these frames also have very nice and premium 5-barrel all-metal hinges. They just feel really, really good right out of the box. So Exotica does a good job with this 5-barrel metal hinge that they put on a lot of different frames. They definitely feel nice, and the hinge is also connected to the metal rod, which is going to help give the whole frame some good rigidity. Now, something interesting that I want to note here is typically when you have a metal accent on the front of the frame, it's not just there for looks. It actually connects the metal hinge to the metal temples, and it just kind of adds some good rigidity to the entire frame. Here, these metal accents are just there for styling purposes. They are a fake metal accent, if that makes sense. They're not actually adding any rigidity to the frame. They're just pressed into the warm acetate when these frames are being produced. So no structural integrity when it comes to that. And that is definitely a little bit disappointing, and it's just not the end of the world, but definitely something to note. Now, as far as coverage from the sun goes, because of the shape, of course, we're not going to have very good coverage from the sun. So here up top, we can see a pretty massive gap that lets sunlight in unprotected. And then here on the side, again, we can see a massive gap that unfortunately does let sunlight in unprotected. So not the most practical pair of sunglasses out there. So the price point here is not amazing, but we do have these available on our website for a substantial discount off the original MSRP. So if you are interested, make sure to check out shadereviewstore.com and type in the model number RB2210 to find your own pair at a discounted rate. But we're also going to leave a link in the description below directly to Ray-Ban's website, where they have every single color with polarized options and non-polarized options available as well. Definitely always a better variety on Ray-Ban's website than unfortunately our own. These frames are made in China, and they say that here in the inner right temple of frames, Ray-Ban made in China, and they're definitely releasing some really cool styles. I do like the style of these frames, but it seems like a ton of these are all made in China. And it's super easy to actually remove this logo. I don't know if you can see it, but it says made in China. And then if I just kind of rub my fingernail on it for just a couple seconds, it's basically going to completely come off. So here I just did it for a couple seconds, and then you know, it's basically all worn off just like that. So again, it kind of just speaks to the quality of even the paint, and maybe they want it to come off, but definitely disappointing. And then here in the inner left template frames, you can see the exact color-coded model information there. But that being said, the build quality here still seems to be really decent. I do like the keel style bridge, and the frames are definitely high quality. They don't feel like they're going to break very easily. They're made out of that propionate material. But as far as the pricing goes, of $168, actually pretty decent. You know, a pair of handmade acetate frames are going to cost you around $20 more. So these are cheaper, which I am definitely happy to see that these are cheaper, because they're not all glass lenses and they're not made out of acetate. But these should probably be closer to like the $156 range or something like that. These definitely seem a little bit more expensive than they probably should be. But I actually really do like the style of these frames. They look really classy and nice. I do wish they made an acetate version that was made in Italy. You know, that would definitely make it kind of one of the better releases from Ray-Ban for this year. But overall, I definitely do like it. Let me know what you think about this pair of sunglasses in the comment section down below. I'm definitely interested to hear what you guys have to say. But that's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give me a big thumbs up down below. And of course, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and then to be notified every single time I upload a brand new video just like this one to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.